What's up, guys? Here with you with FC Wonder Kid. Here with my guy Pedro. How are you?
Fine, Alex. Our favorite topic, right?
Please, people, comment down below about this topic. A lot of the comments, a lot of the start bench cells that we're gonna do come from comments down below. We're listening to you guys, and like this video if you enjoy these start bench cells. The last one went well, so go bold on this one too, okay? Because some of these might be polemic. So let's see.
As
Dramatic
usual,
at least,
usual.
man. Oh my days. I'm even nervous. Like, let's start with a banger first. A lot of these will be bangers, but this one is a heavy, big start bench cell. It's start bench cell with the player that has just retired, Ibrahimovic, one of the greatest to play this game. Start bench cell with Ibra, with Benzema, and with Lewandowski.
At their
start
prime.
bench cell at their prime. These three players, like the greatest to play as striker, definitely in the topic. Definitely in the topic.
Alex, at their prime, I'm gonna start Karim Benzema. I'm gonna bench Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
No,
and I
mate.
have to sell.
You
Robert
cannot
Lewandowski.
sell
I'm so
Lewandowski.
sorry. Man, listen.
You cannot sell Lewandowski.
As
He's
you-
third
as
in
you
most goals
said,
in the Champions League.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic was one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Karim Benzema has won a Ballon d'Or. Man, I can't. Sorry, but I have to bench Lewandowski because even though he was crucial for Bayern in a couple of seasons, more than a couple, a lot of seasons, he was playing in a Bundesliga where Bayern are clear favorites every year to win the title. So,
But Bayern, just like this Man City team, they might win the Champions League without losing one game. Bayern did that with Hansi Flick, and Lewandowski is the main man. Lewandowski was robbed the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. When there was no Ballon d'Or that year, he would have gotten it.
That's true.
He would have gotten it. So I would
even
start.
the year after when Messi won it.
I would start Lewandowski. I would bench Benzema, and I would sell the charismatic Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I think that's the most rational because Lewandowski is the greatest of the three to play football.
I don't agree with
In
you.
terms of career, I'd go Benzema. Wins 5 Champions League, wins the Ballon d'Or, but in terms of ability, I go Lewandowski. But man, this is a mad one. It's the first one. So
if you're
comment.
looking at an athletic striker that has acrobatics ability, that finishing, that skill, that strength, even that pace, that he had pace when he was young, I had to go Zlatan. No, I mean, out of those three, in terms of ability, I would have to go Zlatan. But mentioning their careers, I think Benzema is the clear winner here.
It's bold. But just saying, mentioning Ballon d'Or, Benzema, and all this, currently, the Ballon d'Or winners, the Ballon d'Ors reside 7 in the MLS, 6 in the Saudi League with Benzema and Cristiano Ronaldo, and only 1 in Europe in the top 5 leagues with Luka Modric, the only Ballon d'Or winner currently playing in the top 5 leagues.
Controversial one.
Things
Controversial
gotta
Ballon
change.
d'Or.
But here, a bit of Champions League in this one. Goalkeeper edition with start bench cell Ter Stegen, Courtois, and Alisson. Start bench cell with these 3 players. Ter Stegen, Alisson, and Courtois.
Okay, Alex, so for me, this is an easy one. I will start Courtois. I will bench Alisson, and I will sell Ter Stegen.
You cannot sell. Why are you selling Ter Stegen?
I'm selling Ter Stegen.
He's better than Alisson.
Courtois has been key for Real Madrid in these last years. After they sold their Galacticos, part of their Galacticos, Ronaldo and Bale was not playing as much. Courtois was key for the Champions League titles.
Real Madrid wouldn't have won the Champions League if Courtois didn't go bold.
Courtois was the best goalkeeper in the world that year. For sure.
100%.
Absolutely. So I have to go with Courtois on this one. He also played an important part in this Belgium golden generation, okay? Alisson, because he was the goalkeeper that Liverpool needed to clinch that title that got away for 30 years, man. The Premier League title, the Champions League title as well. And I mean, Alisson is absolutely balling. Started for Brazil. Super important player in both national team and in Liverpool. Undoubtedly one of the best goalkeepers to have ever graced the game, as Courtois is. And also Ter Stegen. But I mean, I have to leave Ter Stegen out, even because of these last recent years. Barca hasn't been up to the standards in the Champions League.
This season,
and that's why I will go Courtois, Alisson, and sell Ter Stegen.
This season, Ter Stegen has been unbelievable.
Yeah, but I mean, Where they didn't go far in the Champions
They
League.
didn't because Ronaldo Araújo was injured. And I'm going to say this. I agree with
And
you with
why,
Courtois.
why didn't Ter Stegen save them though?
In La Liga. Wait.
In La Liga, Real Madrid bottled game after game, man.
Look,
if Barca didn't win that, I mean,
The
that would be
Barca
scandalous.
defense in La Liga was impeccable. Impeccable, in my opinion. Ronaldo Araújo was great.
Those games
Valdes
against
solved the
those
left
games
back
against
issue.
Eibar. Great games.
Oh, come on, mate. Come on. Like, those games against
No
Real
disrespect
Madrid
to Eibar.
in La Liga, that was an important
Man,
win.
Real Madrid was focused on winning the Champions League, man. I mean, Real Madrid bottled in the La Liga, as we haven't seen them bottle in years.
But let me say this. Like, Courtois, in terms of Champions League this last decade, has been the most memorable goalkeeper. In terms of historic performance. That final of Courtois was unbelievable. And with Man City, if Courtois wasn't at the goal, they would have lost more than 4-0. 100%. So he is a proven Galactico, Courtois. So I start Courtois, I bench Ter Stegen, and I sell Alisson. Ter Stegen has 26 clean sheets in La Liga this season. He's been instrumental in this new Barca team with Xavi Ball.
And you're selling one of the best goalkeepers ever playing with his feet, but okay.
And one of the greatest goalkeepers in the Premier League history too with Alisson. But Ter Stegen is going to do something
How can
unbelievable
you be shocked
with
with
Xavi.
me when you do something equally shocking, man? You have to sell someone here, like it's impossible.
Look, this is a shocking game, okay? But people, put start bench cells you want to see and your thoughts too on start bench cells that we already said these two. But this one is going to be shocking too, Pedro. I'm going to look down again because I have to confirm. And you might recall this Neymar talk with Bale. But I'm going to make another mix here. I'm going to start start bench cell with Bale, Neymar, and Frank Ribéry. Underrated for many people for a reason. Instrumental Ribéry duo. Robin and Ribéry is one of the greatest duos I've seen. Definitely in the Champions League. I've seen. That was special. So who would you start bench cell with?
man.
Bale, Neymar, and Ribéry.
Alex, my head will be in a spike for this one. I will start Frank Ribéry.
No.
I will bench
no.
Gareth Bale.
No.
And I will sell
No.
Neymar Jr.
No, you cannot sell Neymar, mate.
I will sell Neymar
I
Jr.
start Neymar.
No.
start Neymar.
Man,
In terms of talent, he's one of the greatest.
I
to
agree with
see.
you, but in terms of his career, I do
prime.
think,
I mean
I reckon
prime.
that Ribéry and Gareth Bale both have a better career legacy than Neymar.
But I'm going to say, Neymar, in his last season at Barca, and in his first season at PSG, before he got injured, Neymar is one of the greatest players I've ever seen. Ahead of Bale and ahead of Ribéry, in my opinion. And I admire Bale's clutchness
Ribéry
too.
was also robbed of a Ballon d'Or in 2013, I think. When Ronaldo won
bold.
it, Ribéry was...
Wait,
was
so
almost
Ronaldo
there.
shouldn't have won it?
There was one, I'm not quite sure which one. There was one that was won by Ronaldo that Ribéry was really close. And Bayern won the Champions League that year.
He was top 3 that year. I think Ribéry,
Man, Ribéry
deserves
has
the
an
top 3.
amazing legacy at Bayern. Arguably, like, top 3 best clubs ever.
I'm
And
going
he's
to
a
be
legend
honest.
of that
We're going to
club.
mention in this video a player that, and I'm going to say forwards, so people maintain until we go forwards, a player that deserves more the Ballon d'Or than Ribéry. I agree with you. Like Schneider, Ribéry are underrated, that it should have won a Ballon d'Or. But that's bold, mate. To start Ribéry, mate. I'm shaking! I'm shaking!
And Ribéry, for years, before Lewandowski even went there, was the key, the soul for that Bayern team. He scored those goals. He made those assists. He was important in the locker room. I mean, man, and that
Look.
duo, that fantastic duo, Robin Ribéry. And you mentioned that unbeatable campaign at the Champions League. Ribéry was key to it.
I'm going to say, prime talk. I'm going to start Neymar. I'm going to bench Bale. I'm going to sell Ribéry. Neymar is the definition of talent, in my opinion.
But I'm not talking in terms of talent, Alex. When you look at their careers,
And the finals clutchness of Bale. I
for
understand.
me, moving to PSG killed Neymar's career. Killed what he could have been.
that injury.
In my opinion, Neymar could have been the greatest player of all time in terms of abilities because he is Ronaldinho-esque, man. He could have been the best player of all time. But, I mean, Neymar just made the wrong choices and moving to PSG was one of them.
On the spot, I'm going to do one here, and I'm going to ask you two. In terms of prime, these players, Neymar, Benzema, and Luis Suárez. Who would you start bench sell with these 3 players? With Benzema, Suárez, and Neymar.
I would start Benzema. I would bench Neymar, and I would sell Luis Suarez.
Mate, sell
Man,
Suarez
come on.
is better
If
than
I,
Benzema.
if I told you,
Suarez is better
oh my
than
God,
Benzema.
what are you saying, man? Benzema, 1 Ballon d'Or, 5 Champions League. Man, come on.
Luis Suarez has
No, Alex,
283
stop right there.
games.
Alex, sorry, Alex, stop right there. I know you won the show, but come on, I'm gonna stop you right there because with Karim Benzema, we're talking about the second all-time greatest goal scorer in the best club in the world, Real Madrid.
Suarez was better.
First in assists for the best club in the world, Real Madrid. So you're talking about a player who is second in goals scored and first in assists provided for the biggest club in the football history. And you're telling me that Luis Suarez is better than Karim Benzema? No way, Alex. I'm not gonna accept
Suarez,
that.
prime season 15-16, had 59 goals and 24 assists in a season. I've never seen Karim the Dream do that. He was dreamful that Champions League run, but Luis Suarez, in terms of peak prime, I think he's better than Benzema. And I'm going to say 283 games. So Barca, 198 goals. I would start Neymar, I would bench Luis Suarez, and I would sell Karim Benzema of all these three players. Neymar, once again, man.
Okay.
The talent, the definition.
I don't agree with you just because I think he blown his entire career by moving to PSG and due to the choices he made. I don't think Neymar has the mentality worthy of being ahead of those guys.
And Luis Suarez won 2 golden boots in a Ronaldo and Messi era. And in his debut
tied
season...
Tied with Ronaldo on one.
In his debut season, he had 25 goals and 24 assists. Unreal. He was with Messi and Neymar too.
With the greatest trio of all time. That was one of the, arguably, for me, it was the second greatest trio of all time. Of course, it was easy to bang in those goals. Come on.
So people, comment down below your opinions of start, bench, sell until now, okay? This is being bold with a lot of these topics. And once again, this is not going to disappoint. I'm looking down because once again, I cannot believe what... This is a center-back legacy. I ain't putting Maldini because Maldini, I think, would make it easy. So people, too, tell me if you agree with me. But this start, bench, sell is unbelievable center backs that deserve recognition. So it's a start bench sell with Sergio Ramos, Nemanja Vidic, and John Terry. Start bench sell with these
prime
three.
Or career?
Prime. Start bench sell with these three players: Vidic, Sergio Ramos, and John Terry.
Alex, so sorry to the Real Madrid fans, but I'm gonna start Nemanja Vidic.
What? No, Ramos starts.
I'm gonna bench John Terry. And I'm gonna sell Sergio Ramos.
No, Ramos starts.
I'll tell you why, guys, and I'll tell you why. Sergio Ramos is the player in the world. I don't care. He's a player in the world with the most red cards ever. Sergio Ramos is a player in the world with the most red cards ever, and he's really good heading the ball.
Galactico.
He's really good scoring penalties and scoring goals. Okay, no doubt, but a center back is not only that. Defending wise, I think Sergio Ramos is the worst of those three, and that's why I picked this order: Vidic, Terry, and Sergio Ramos.
Sergio Ramos, 1 World Cup, 4 Champions Leagues, 5 La Liga, a Galactico, a definition of a Galactico.
I'm not saying he's not class, man.
I would start Sergio Ramos. I would bench John Terry.
Oh gosh, how can you sell Nemanja Vidic? Arguably the most important player in the Ferguson era. Come on.
One of the best players and saved Rio Ferdinand.
I think he's like he's the best defender I have seen play in the Premier League. He's the best center back.
But John Terry was the definition of the Mourinho era.
Man, the aggressiveness Vidic had, the recklessness. Those tackles, interception, anticipation. Vidic had it all, mate.
I'm going to be honest. If there was a best 11 of the Premier League, I think Vidic and John Terry both will have a say.
Yeah, so it's a tough one between those two.
John Terry would be ahead of Vidic in the talk too.
I think legacy-wise, you might be right.
Leadership?
But at their prime, I think I would go for Vidic.
One-on-one, unbelievable, but I would start...
guys, all class, come on.
Again, yes, we all agree. I would start Sergio Ramos. I said it. So people, put down below. Yeah, I was repeating it. I'm sorry, guys. But again, tell us start bench sells you want to see and your thoughts on this Sergio Ramos one. This is the boldest one, and it's not the last, but it's one of the last ones. I'm nervous to say it, but this is a start bench sell with Luka Modric, Andres Iniesta, and Xavi. Start bench sell with these 3 three iconic midfielders. We're touching greatness non-stop in this pod.
Sorry once again, Real Madrid fans, in anticipation. I'm going to start Andres Iniesta.
Yes.
I'm going to bench Xavi Hernandez. And I'm going to sell Luka Modric. And listen, I know he's a Ballon d'Or winner. But in my opinion, and I think most of the people agree with me, he was not... he didn't deserve that Ballon d'Or. I'm not saying he's not a Ballon d'Or caliber player, Luka Modric. But for sure, he didn't deserve that one. That should have gone to Ronaldo. But listen, Andres Iniesta was just crucial for Spain in their World Cup campaign, in the Euros campaign. Most important player in the best, arguably the best team to have ever played the game.
I agree.
That Guardiola Barcelona team. He was the engine of that team. He could assist, he could score, be crucial in the last third, also aid the midfield. He could do it all, Andres Iniesta. Xavi, for me, the best player of all time, dictating the tempo of the game. So I have to put him in the second place. And yeah, of course, Luka Modric, one of the best number 10 to have ever graced the game as well. But I think he's a notch below the other two.
I think, look, in terms of peak form, I completely agree with you with Xavi and Modric. But late stages now, I'm going to start with you, Andres Iniesta. I think Iniesta in the midfield talk is next to anyone. He can be in any debate of greatest midfielders, Andres Iniesta. I would bench Modric because of what he did with Croatia internationally. He got third and second back-to-back seasons in a World Cup, 5 Champions Leagues for Real Madrid, and one of the greatest to touch the game.
Yeah,
but Xavi, the discussion is, I think it's what you favor more between Xavi and Modric. So I would sell Xavi, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I would bench
arguable,
Modric.
It's arguable.
And this is the last one, okay? Portuguese edition, Portuguese League edition midfielders.
Portuguese bias, man.
But we're gonna say thoughts here. It might be dramatic for some. So it's a start bench cell with Frederick Orsens, Pot, and Otavio. Start bench cell with these 3 players in terms of how good you think they are in the Portuguese league.
Yeah, Alex, I'm sorry. I'm gonna start Pot. I'm gonna bench Otavio, and I'm gonna sell Frederick Orsens.
Otavio is the best midfielder in the Portuguese league before the Coxu arrival.
But if you look at the seasons Pedro Gonçalves, aka Pot, has made since he has arrived at Sporting, man, he just bags in more than 15 goals per season and averages also more than 10 assists per season. And that he does that consistently from the midfield. So I cannot put anyone ahead of Pot. And I do think he is class. But Otavio has one thing Pot doesn't have, which is that heart, that desire in his way, in the way he plays, that aggressiveness he puts into every freaking ball, man, that he tries to get. I mean, Otavio is just a class player, and I'm glad he is called up for the Portuguese national team because Portugal needs a player like that in the locker room.
100%.
And if I was a Porto fan, he would be my favorite player of the squad. Unfortunately, I'm not. But yeah, I still would put Pot ahead of him due to his ability. I do think he has more ability than.
Do you think Pot will have a greater career than Otavio?
Yeah, I think Pot is
Where
younger.
should Pot go?
Is younger than Otavio, and he's going international sooner or later. So he's been associated with Arsenal at the moment. I think it would be a good fit for him. And like many other people think, I do reckon that Pot would do well in the Premier League.
Let's see.
He's a different kind of player. You know how easy it is for him to score goals. He looks like he's passing the ball towards the goal. It's crazy. But yeah, Frederick Orsnes, he is a player that surprised me a lot. Coming from Feyenoord, nobody knew him that well here in Portugal.
Schmidt knew. Roger Schmidt knew.
But he has been so versatile,
True.
so useful to Benfica, helping in every single position in the pitch where he can, either in right back, in the midfield, up in the front, in the wings.
You still sold him, though.
Sorry?
You still sold him, though.
I still sold him because, I mean, he has to prove more than just one season. You know that many players can be a one-season wonder, but I reckon he has a potential to compete against those two and even be better, Frederick Orsnes.
I'm going to start Otavio. I'm going to bench Frederick Orsnes, and I'm going to sell Pot.
Foreseeable. I already knew you were going to do that, man. Crazy how you underrate Pot.
But people, put start bench cells in the comment section down below. We want to see suggestions and tell us your thoughts about the start bench cells we mentioned. We mentioned Iniesta, Benzema, Suárez, Ronaldo. Ibrahimovic, yeah, Bale, Neymar, so much we have mentioned. And leave a like if you want to see more videos just like this. Thank you, people, for going bold.
Cobalt.
Boy,